I know we say like we won't know what the market does. However, thank you, pop-ups. Our next article comes from the Independent.uk. It's the UK, so do with that what you will. But Iran closes Strait of Hormuz after U.S.-Israeli strikes. Reports say oil majors and trading houses say they have suspended crude oil, fuel, and liquefied natural gas shipments. Iran has reportedly shut down the Strait of Hormuz in response to a joint attack by the United States and Israel. Several tanker owners, oil majors, and trading houses have suspended crude oil, fuel, and liquefied natural gas shipments, and Tehran said it had closed navigation. A trading source told Reuters. Quote, our ships will stay put for several days, unquote, one top executive at a major trading desk said. Satellite images from the tanker trackers showed vessels piling up next to big ports such as Fujairah. Gosh, man, I really am a redneck. In the United Arab Emirates and not moving through Hormuz. Multiple vessels in the area received VHF transmission from Iran's Revolutionary Guards that, quote, no ship is allowed to pass the Strait of Hormuz, unquote, an official with the EU naval mission, Aspides, told Reuters. Da-da-da-da. The UK Navy said Iran's orders were not legally binding and advised vessels to transit with caution. I don't know, like, the UK government's like, you should continue your operations. Iran's like, don't do it or face the consequences. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
they, they just
Hmm.
been, they were just bombed. I don't think they're in. I personally don't believe they're in a good state of mind. So, the Tanker Association, Enertanko, said the U.S. Navy had warned against navigation in the area, the whole of the Gulf, Gulf of Oman, North Arabian Sea, and the Strait of Hormuz, saying it could not guarantee the safety of shipping. Yeah, I just said that. Greece's shipping ministry advised vessels on Saturday to avoid the Persian Gulf. Yeah, we just said that. Now here's the part I find interesting. Some 20% of global oil from producers such as Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Iraq, Kuwait, and Iran pass through Hormuz, as well as a large volume of LNG from Qatar. 14 LNG tankers have shown signs of slowing down, U-turning, and or stopping in or around the strait, said Laura Page from blah blah blah, who added the numbers will likely rise. So that being said, as I alluded earlier, one, in times of war, resources are going to be diverted to the military. One of those resources is oil. And not only is it now being diverted to the U.S. military, now, according to this article, about 20% of global oil is being stopped at this port, which, as I already stated, that one of our, all of your cars use gas, and so do truckers, which ship the produce that we use, the production, the whatever. It we need it to transport, and if that goes up, everything goes up. So yeah, and then the thing again, because oil isn't like something we can slowly wane off. You know what I mean? The whole world, the whole United States uses it.
Yeah.
Even the electric car people, they still use it. They still use they still use
Hmm.
the gas to charge the cars. So if a 20% jump is it's gonna I can't imagine it not happening. Markets are gonna react. There's probably gonna be a rise. At least in my opinion, there's probably gonna be a rise to gas prices. I would say almost immediately. Like it's 1/5 of the entire. Again, according to this article, it's the UK. 1/5 of the total global, you know, oil is just being cut. that's gonna hurt for sure, and it's probably gonna be felt across the markets. Let's see. Yeah, so things are getting more scarce. Da-da-da. Yeah, people can't just easily. Yeah. Um. Man, this sucks. Da-da-da. Any thoughts?
Sorry.
All good.
Yeah, it's gonna be a weird Monday. We need yeah. Fortunately, the U.S. we're still one of the largest oil producers, and we have a decent reserve.
Oh yeah, that's a.
Um,
Sorry, continue.
but
I'll get to my point.
a big part of the reason why we have like why we intentionally sell off our reserves or why we buy oil from other countries is to sort of like economies abhor nothing more than instability. So if you're like trying to get a country to want to not to go to war with you, you try to buy as much stuff from them as you can, and then basically you try to build their economy around doing business with you. So that way, if they, politically might want to attack you, there's just the political capital is no longer there because people like the stuff that they get from trading with your country.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, and the one thing I was thinking, I was looking for my notes. I couldn't find it. That's why I was quiet. I wonder. Tinfoil hats on, everybody. I wonder if this was
tinfoil
planned
hat.
for months, but they were like, if we attack them, they're going to cut oil because we were already like we were already kind of losing oil ish from them because there's something like some treaty was up, and
Yeah,
now we would have to renegotiate for that oil, which may or may not be why we're actually attacking them. But I wonder if the reason why we captured Maduro, was that his name? Did I get that right? The guy in Venezuela,
yeah.
Maduro, and took back our oil production, which is what happened. So what happened was, and please correct me if I'm wrong, in like 2002 or something like that, we gave Venezuela a bunch of money to build like these oil refineries in Venezuela. And the moment or a little bit after they were complete, like Maduro took over and was like, "We're not giving you any of this." And
Hmm.
the Bush administration was like, "You know what? Fair, I guess. We just gave you all this money, and now." So I wonder if that's like you know what I mean? Because obviously Bush didn't retaliate against that. Obama didn't retaliate against that. Trump didn't retaliate against that in his first term. Biden didn't retaliate against that. However, now deals with Saudi Arabia and oil producers around there are over for the United States because I think we made that deal in like the 70s or 80s with them that they
Hmm.
would buy using U.S. dollar. It was something involving the U.S. dollar that you know that was the deal. That deal is up, and now we have to renegotiate. And so is and then Russia and China are trying to get on that for sure, no doubt about it. I wonder if they're like, we need a way to ensure we still have oil production if we do this attack.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
It just depends on how, yeah, it depends on how important the success of this attack is, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and how long like this war lasts? Because in the span of a day, we went
Yeah,
from a week to 4 weeks. And also, I haven't looked much into Venezuela's oil production. I don't know if it matches like the scale that you know the Middle East does. I imagine it doesn't
yeah,
have to match 100%. But I've heard now. I didn't look into it. I just read somewhere as I was scrolling X was that like Venezuela has one of the largest like untapped oil reserves in the world. Not reserves, but like you know what I mean. Like it's predicted that they have a lot of oil that they can dig up, and it's almost comparable
hmm,
to the Middle East. Again, that is all conspiracy theory. take that with a grain of salt. Do that what you will. But now, if we are ignoring the fact that we have Venezuela oil, I don't know, man. Like in my mind, stocks are going up. You know what I mean? Not up. It's gonna
Hmm.
it's good. You know, they're gonna crash. Like again, like
No,
you
I
know,
think they're
I
going up.
oh, you think you're going up?
No, I was just being.
Oh, okay. I was like, really? I imagine people would be selling. But you know what I mean?
They're
Like
definitely going up.
I
You should buy right now.
yeah. Like I wouldn't like I would agree with you if it wasn't for this kind of retaliation. You know what I mean? Like now unless now here's let's put an extra tinfoil hat on top of ours so we have her now. I wonder if because this is global. It's not like oh we're just cutting oil, you know 1/5 of the world's oil, cutting 20% from the U.S. You know what I mean? They're not stopping that or like Israel. No, it's global. I wonder if we've we've bombed them. They've put a halt on trade. Now the U.S. is like, guys, the rest of the world, we just have a bunch of oil. Buy from us. You know what I mean? I can kind of see that.
Hmm.
Be like, they're gonna make these deals without us, or we're not gonna get as good of a deal as we got last time. Here's a country, Venezuela, potentially a bunch of oil that just needs to be dug up. We already have the factories there or the refineries there. Why not just blow their stuff up, or at least you know, get rid of their chain of command, throw their country into
Hmm.
disarray. Because I know he's like now's the time to overthrow your government. You know what I mean? I get that. In my mind, I'm not trying to be mean to our founding fathers and the people who fought in the Revolutionary War. I think that was a fluke. I don't really see a lot of scenarios where the top government is just gone, and the common people who I'm not saying it can't happen, but a lot of these people are farmers, factory workers, people who don't involve in politics or the rest of the world. I can't imagine a bunch of people just come up, fill the spot, and go about their day and call, you know what I mean, as if nothing happened. I feel
Hmm.
like that kind of structure, things are going to collapse. So we have our refineries, we bomb their chain of command, their country goes into disarray. Well, guys, it's the US. We're your allies. Just buy from us. You know what I mean? I can see that.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just thinking more
Yeah.
about
It's
this.
over.
You know what I mean?
Sell everything now.
Like that's genius. Why didn't I think of it? You know what I mean? Like I gotta stop. I
Yeah.
gotta stop thinking
Yeah.
about it. But well, we'll see. As you stated, we'll see what happens Monday and throughout the week. What I imagine, I don't gamble except on Counter Strike, but I imagine that if stocks go down fast enough, I think we might start like advertising our oil from Venezuela to other countries because it doesn't just affect us. Again, that's global. That's the UK's market. That's Europe's market. I imagine parts of Africa, Australia, Asia. Maybe even Russia. Actually, no, absolutely China and Russia because they're in talks. They were in talks with the oil producers now.
Hmm.
So a bunch of chain of commands are out. Country goes in disarray. Oh my gosh, that might be a power play. You know what I mean? Like Russia, my guy.
Right.
You stop attacking Ukraine, we'll let you buy oil from us. Because again, I can't imagine a bunch of commoners. Now, granted, I'm not trying to be mean, and I'm sure there's people there who are just like in the politics and they're just waiting for someone above to die. Well, here's your
Yeah.
chance. You know what I mean? I'm sure that's you know what I mean, but I can't imagine a revolution happening within a week, let alone
Yeah.
4. But and then things continue as normal. This is gonna because we did something similar during the Obama administration, but it what's it called? It's kind of like how ISIS was born, was that we took out the leaders of oh my gosh, what was that terrorist group? Like Al Qaeda. We took out their terrorists, and the same thing happened with the Black Panther Party in like the '60s. I want to say, you take out the leadership, a bunch of gangs are gonna pop up because there's a vacuum for power,
Yeah.
and everybody wants a piece of it. So that's how I imagine we might get even more conflict in the Middle East. I don't know if we'll be a part of that. It might just be a whole, you throw like a piece of meat to the piranhas, and then they'll fight it out, or like,
Yeah.
like third partying in battle royales. You let them two duke it out, and then you pick up and you finish off what's left, so you reign on top. You know what I mean? Boy, I sound like a
Hmm.
conspiracy theorist. I need to get out of here. Um,
Hey, man.
well, I guess
Even
we'll
that much
just
of a
combine these
conspiracy.
segments